Three-Fourths Home. This is a game that a lot of people, well, two people, have said to me, you should play that. You like pretentious bullshit, which is true, I suppose. And no, I like games which push the boundaries of what the interactive narrative format can do. So pretentious bullshit to some people. I know very little about this game apart from the fact that it's set maybe entirely on a car journey in Nebraska, and that it features an awful lot of corn. So let's have a look. And I think that it's a text-based adventure. Um, I may narrate it. You do play I think a girl from rural Nebraska. I will not attempt to do the accent because that could get very ugly. Let's see how it goes anyway. The last time I tried to narrate a game as I was playing it was a pigeon dating simulator called Hatterful Boyfriendo, and that was fun. But let's have a look at this. Three-Fourths Home. Hello. Thank you for joining us. You came in right at the beginning of this right rollicking, riveting adventure set in rural Nebraska, allegedly. I hope there's aliens. Better be aliens.
Cup.
I've been out here for a while. Mom might be getting worried. Once more with feeling. Sounds like a storm coming in. I should probably get going.
Is this like a storybook game or what?
I think it is like a storybook game. Yes, but I've never played it before, so I don't know. I don't think there's going to be any first-person shooting, let's put it like that. Sorry, I just start playing a game and somebody comes to the door. Press something. Tip of my nose? Okay. She found a guitar pick on the side of the road. Nebraska. Okay, I actually have to drive the car. I'm holding down R2. Hello? Oh, I can actually stop the car. Okay.
It looks like it is only me who is watching your live stream right now.
To be honest, I didn't even realize you were still watching. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm kind of curious to see where this story goes. I don't really do the live streams in order to, for viewers. I do them because I like to have the videos archived on YouTube. So as soon as I end this live stream, it will archive on YouTube, and it will be there until I get my YouTube account suspended for posting something inappropriate, which could happen anytime, basically, given some of the stuff I post on there.
Also, how are you able to post like long videos? I did a live stream of my game called DC Universe Online, but as soon as I tried to post it on F.
If you're streaming to YouTube and you have a YouTube account, it will automatically archive it. So I think if you do it on Twitch or other things like Dailymotion, it doesn't necessarily do that. But as long as you stream to YouTube, the video should be saved to your YouTube account. And I think for standard YouTube accounts, you're only allowed to have like 20-minute videos. However, if you do a live stream, it can be like 2 hours long, 3 hours long, however long your live stream is. And it will just stay there on your account. Because I've got like 2-hour videos of Until Dawn and things like that on my YouTube account. And you don't have to do anything. As long as you've live streamed it, it will automatically do that, or it should do.
Thanks for letting me know. It was muchly appreciated. Also, it was a big help too.
No problem.
When you are going to stop? I'm driving and actually do another part of the story.
From what I understand, you don't. The entire thing is told on this car journey. So, this is basically it. So, yeah, I think it's all cornfields and all dialogue. So I don't think it's so much of a game as like a kind of interactive narrative. But I've heard really good things about this. You know, a lot of people have said it's a very affecting experience, and I kind of like games like this, you know, walking simulators or driving simulators as this is, but no, I think this is pretty much it.
Then would you mind reading what it is I'm saying, because I have trouble reading?
Sure, yeah, I was thinking of doing that anyway. And I'm not sure how clear the image is on the live stream, so I'll do it with the next piece of conversation. You were really out of touch there for a while, Kelly. Months without calling will do that. I'm not much of an actor, unfortunately. Damn. Wait, here's your father. David, what the hell were you doing out there? I told you I was covering my tomatoes, or tomatoes, I guess you would say, being American. The storm's a bad one. I didn't want them to get beat up. I've never heard of anyone doing that, David. Well, Nora, just because you haven't heard of it doesn't mean it's not a smart thing to do. You tracked mud all over the carpet. Look at that. God damn it, I'll clean it up. Sorry. And this is the son. Dad, you said a bad word. Mom, he's not allowed to say that. If I'm not allowed to say it, he's not allowed to say it. Sorry, bud, you're right. I'll put $1 in the jar. That's $27. I get to buy a game when it's $50. That's what you said. That's the deal. Sometimes I wonder if you do that on purpose. I'll never tell. Who's on the phone? It's your daughter. That's so. Where is the girl? Here, you talk to her. I'm done playing go-between. Don't you want me to clean this up? Just take the phone. Yes, darling. Oh, shut up. Miss Kelly! Hey, Dad! Where the hell are you? On my way home. Yeah? Where from? I went to the old barn. My parents' place? Yeah. How'd it look? I haven't been out there since the accident. It's looking rough. I don't want to see it like that. Like what? All fallen down. It's the last thing I have to my parents, you know. I don't want to remember like that. Not on the ground. That's deep for you. What can I say? The storm has me feeling really deep. Ah, shit, this damn leg. Is it that bad? Worst it's been in a while. It must be the storm. Atmospheric pressure changes and all that. It's the damnedest thing, though. Weird feeling hurting when there's nothing left to hurt. I can't even imagine. It's strange. I better watch my language. Ben's on the warpath on this whole Kustjak crusade. Are you taking anything for it? No pain meds. But something else. Maybe a drink now and then. Just now and then? Maybe a little more often than that. I'm not judging you. Good, because I'm not listening if you are. We can't afford the prescriptions and nothing else helps. I'm sorry, Dad. Let's talk about this later, okay? Now isn't the right time, not while you're out driving in this storm. Okay. So, what were you up to out of my parents' place? Reminiscing? What about? Them? I miss them too. I found this guitar pick on the road by the barn. Oh yeah? It has these 2 holes punched in it. Like it was some kind of necklace? Now that you say that, yeah. Huh, that's odd. You're the only person who I know who ever played. I guess Ben isn't anymore. Not anymore, no. He might try to get back into it though. This writing thing probably won't keep him occupied forever. Maybe I'll try. I tried to get him to garden with me. That didn't go so well. What was it he said? I can buy a tomato from the store. Why wait 6 months if I want a tomato? Genuinely good point, incidentally. He has a point. Sure, but he's also missing the point of gardening, the feeling of getting your hands dirty, of watching something grow and be able to say you played a part. What, like children? You're not so off the mark. Maybe you should try it. About those plants. What about them? What were you doing out in the rain? I was covering up the tomatoes. I'm quite enjoying this. It's like being in a play. That's weird, Dad. It keeps them protected. From water? No, Kelly, not from water. Though if it floods, we'd have a whole mess of other problems. From what then? A storm like this, we could get some nasty wind and hail, take the tomatoes right off the vine or bruise them up. That happens, next thing you know, they'll rot off the vine. All that trouble for a couple of tomatoes. They need taking care of. Fragile little things, those tomatoes. If you don't watch them, rot will set in pretty quick. You may think I'm a bit of a fool, but I have my reasons. If you say so, Dad. Doubt all you want. It's the truth. Oh, hey, Ben. The meteorologist said that there have been funnel cloud sightings in the county. Kelly needs to get home. Is she driving fast enough? Why don't you ask her? I need to keep watching. Tell her she should drive faster. You got it, bud. Ben's getting worried. Are you making good time? I think so. I'm by the high school. And there's the high school. Amazing graphics. You've still got a ways to go. Don't be reckless, but you ought to beat cheeks. This storm could get nasty. I've never heard the term beat cheeks before. Must be a Nebraska thing. I'm booking it, as long as you're being safe. So what happened to the school? What about it? Since when did it have a second floor? A couple of years back, I guess. It looks completely different. It's mostly empty from what I hear. There's nowhere near enough kids to fill up those classrooms. Then why did they do it? Because they could. The district got some sort of grant from the state. The wrestling teams won a couple of big championships, so I guess our little corner is starting to get some attention. I guess that makes sense. It was a waste of money if you ask me, spending so much on a high school with barely 200 kids. Investing in our future. Not the future of this place. Most of them are like you, run off as soon as they graduate. Some of us come back. And last I heard, you weren't looking to stick around longer than you have to. That reminds me, did you ever get back with your pal from high school? Eric or something, wasn't it? I wasn't planning to. Why not? You two were joined at the hip back then. It's complicated. Can't be all that complicated. He's a friend. You should give him a ring. It's kind of about Jesse. Oh, now what does that have to do with anything? Eric really liked Jesse. Tell him what Jesse did. I bet he'll change his mind. Problem solved. He'd probably think the whole thing was my fault. It wasn't. I don't know. Maybe it was. Bullshit. That kid's always seemed to have his head straight. I'm sure he'll be on your side. I don't. Never mind, you're right. That's what I like to hear. It's refreshing hearing those words. She said you were right, didn't she? This is the mom now. She did, and I am. Uh-huh. Oh, don't give me that look. What look? This is the mum and the dad having a bit of a domestic. That one right there. David, you're imagining things. And this is the son. Why are you fighting? We're not. I was just going into the living room to watch the news. Come on. Okay, they're showing funnel clouds a few miles. Kelly, you know the look I'm talking about, don't you? That glare. You do it too, you know. You are imagining things. Not you too. Everyone around here is trying to make me out to be crazy. Not crazy, maybe a bit drunk. I thought we were done with that. I'm only worried. Are those tornado sirens? I can hear them too. A tornado, they're showing it on the news. Uh-oh. Okay, Ben, you know the drill. Downstairs. This is the bit where her car is going to get taken up into the tornado and we're going to go to another dimension and fight aliens. Or maybe that's not going to happen at all. I want to watch it on the news. Benjamin, now. Most tornadoes only stay on the ground for a few minutes and travel less than 10 miles. This is only 12 miles away. Ben, now. Hey, I'm going to let you go, okay? Is it near me? No, it's Easterfair. You should be fine. Okay, you guys be safe. We will. I'll see. Don't you dare let her off that phone, David. She needs to pay attention to the road, Nora. I'm hanging up. Like hell you are. You keep her on that goddamn phone. I'll listen to her getting sucked up into that tornado before I have to sit around and just worry about it. That's reassuring. There would be so much debris that her phone would be destroyed before you could hear her get sucked into the tornado. Also, you have to put $2 in the jar. She could get in a wreck, especially in this wind. You'd probably be able to hear her get into a wreck, unless the phone gets thrown from the car or if it was crushed. The sun is really helpful. Okay, bud, enough of that. You're going to give your mother a heart attack. Ask her if she can see anything. Christ, Nora, here, you ask her. Talk to your mother, Kelly. If I must. Kelly, can you see anything out there? Just rain. No hail? No, just rain. The tornado was east of here. If Kelly went to Grandpa's house, she's northwest of here. She wouldn't see a tornado unless there was another one, which is very possible. I just wanted to make sure, Ben. If Kelly gets sucked into a tornado or gets into a car wreck, can I have her computer? Benjamin. She won't need it. If she's not using it, no one will be. It wouldn't be fair if I couldn't have it. Okay, bud, I think that's fair. If Kelly gets sucked into a tornado, I'm sure she'd be okay with you letting her have her computer. What about her room? Please, Ben, that's enough. I'll tell you what, we'll leave her room on the table. You never know. We could get some damage here, and her room might have a giant hole in the ceiling. If I were you, I'd wait and see on that investment. Alright, that's a good point. Your brother sometimes. God bless him. Let me talk to him. Sure about that? Why wouldn't I be? You can hear him. He's in one of those moods. Just let me talk to him. Okay, you asked for it. Ben, here, talk to your sister. I don't want to. You can ask her about that computer. Let me have the phone. Dad says I can have your computer if you crash or get sucked into a tornado. Hello to you too, Ben. He also says I might be able to have your room, but I'm holding off to see if it's more damaged than mine after the storm before I commit. Smart business. It's just common sense. Anyone who thought about it would come to the same conclusion. I guess you're right. You guess or you know. You shouldn't have to guess if I'm right or not. I either am or I'm not. You are definitely right. Mum and Dad are arguing in the corner. They don't think I can hear them. About me? No, Mum thinks we should be in the storage room on the east side of the house because she says it's further underground. Oh. She's wrong. One of the walls is only hallway covered. She's also afraid that the water heater in here could explode. If that happens, we'd be killed even if we were in the other room. We'd burn to death. So you guys are in the safest room? We are least likely to be killed by the tornado if we are in this room. But there's no guarantee in either room. Tornadoes and debris are unpredictable. I think he sounds like he's got Asperger's or something. Or maybe he's just like an annoying little brat. Sounds like you've thought this out. It's just common sense. Are you scared? Yes. Anything I can do to help? How? We could just talk. What about? You've been writing a lot lately, haven't you? Yes. Do you want me to read one of your stories? Like how we used to tell stories to each other? All of my stories are upstairs. It would be dangerous to go upstairs during a tornado warning. I didn't think about that. I wrote one today. I could tell it to you. Alright. Are you ready? Wait, What's it called? Untitled. Oh. Well, okay then. Are you ready now? Yeah. A village sat in a wide valley cut high in the mountains. It was a place of plenty, a gash of green in the otherwise cold slate rising above on all sides. Those living in the village called the place View, though those who lived higher in the mountains, mining for precious glints of yellow and blue, called it the Trough. Those in the valley treated this name as an insult, for they thought it was a name unfit for their fair village. The people of View, or the Trough, had lived there for centuries. They were mostly farmers, though a fair number of merchants made a home in the valley for most of the year, save for the month when they would venture upward into the mining towns to sell their harvest bounty at a premium. They would return home with bags filled with chips of yellow and blue tied to their fine leather belts, clinking brightly with their wealth. The next year they would trade half of their shining flints to the farmers for a share of the harvest that they would, in turn, cart up to the mining villages yet again. Food flowed up and outward from the valley, and the yellow and blue would trickle down, gathering in the valley like a collection basin. This continued for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. Dozens of generations of farmers' fathers and merchant sons were born, grew wealthier, and were buried beneath the plush pasture of the valley, until the beast descended. The mining folk in the higher reaches of the mountains had passed tales of the beast around for as long as the history stretched. At the highest peak of the northernmost mountain, they said, lived the beast. It watched in all directions through slit eyes, judging those below, biding its time until it would enact a righteous calamity. It was a nightmare of immense and terrible power, the miners would whisper. But it was also a patient creature. It would wait until it felt the world below had become irredeemable before unleashing such destruction that its judgment would be fulfilled. It was simply biding its time until an age of selfish sin, before cascading down an era of sickness and madness, of fire and char and blood. And one day, after hundreds of generations of farmers and traders had lived and died in the valley, it appeared in view. The beast had risen in the trough. It appeared without warning, with neither sound nor fury. It was simply there. Curled atop four legs, steaming breath rising from a black maw, leathery wings folded on its hulking shape, it towered over the centre of the village, ominously silent. It did not move, it did not even seem to be living, save for the seeping steam billowing from its slime-slicked snout. Try saying that with a lisp. The village's warriors were called to arms, a ceremonial horn echoing off of the walls of the valley, aching towards a pregnant silence. After a moment, stretching thin, they rushed towards the beast, their spears angled at its massive form. So I just stopped the car for a minute to see what happened. Okay. Do not take your finger off of R2 if you want to know what happens with the beast. The beast... The rest of the village watched from the safety of embroidered drapery as the spear splintered against the beast's hide, the honed blades shattering like glass. The warriors fell to the earth, crying out, while their arms, as splintered as their spears, hung lifeless by their sides. The beast did not stir. I don't know why I keep saying it like that. I'll stop. The village's warriors were buried the next morning, having perished during the night. Those who tended to their wounds would later claim their eyes turned black, as if the light was leached from within. The people of View, or the Trough, gathered to discuss what was to be done. The beast slumbered, but for how long? Why did it sleep? And perhaps more worryingly of all, how had it arrived in their valley? Not a soul had seen its arrival. It was almost as if the thing had simply materialized in the centre of the village, or, some proposed, it had emerged from the earth itself. But if that were the case, how had the soil, their valuable, rich, rare earth, the source of their plenty and their affluence, birthed such a terrible creature? Some were quick to suggest leaving the valley. We could ascend into the alcoves in the mountains, the merchant said. With no one to tend the fields, how would we eat? The farmers countered. They debated for a long time on what they should do. As the weeks passed, they began to forget that they had a choice. Trapped by the gravity of their indecision, they remained in the valley. The creature slept, and the creature breathed. With each breath, its skin rolled, animating the thorny black scales into a roiling obsidian briar. But it did not rouse, it did not move, it did not rain terror from the skies, nor did it consume children by the score. It slept. The farmers continued to tend their land. The merchants made the yearly trek up the treacherous trails to collect what little chips of wealth the miners had collected in exchange for the farmers' yield. Year after year, however, there seemed to be a little less. A little less harvest, a little less yellow and blue passed around in the snowy alcoves carved from unforgiving rock, a little less green in the valley, a little less light. This continued for 20 years until the day it began to rain. The people of View, or the Trough, watched the colours roll in, not from the south, whence the clouds usually arrived laden with water from a faraway sea, but from the north, where there was but ice and stone and mountain. The rain draped the valley in a dampness that did not relent, but instead crept into every corner. The mountains themselves seemed to sweat and pour water into the valley. The water carried with it a quiet rot. The first harvest after the rains began produced a meagre crop, and what little could be gathered was black with mould before the merchants had a chance to trade for their yellow and blue. Their livestock fared no better. The animals began developing weeping sores that became infected and killed with a quick fever. That winter, the people of the Trough, or View, watched one another waste away as they began to starve. The next harvest was worse. Every last crop had turned mealy and infested before midsummer. By the end of the season, the last of their livestock were dead. The people of the Trough watched one another descend into a state of hungry madness, devouring the rotting wood, sloughing from their homes in slimy heaps, and their fine leather belts that once had yellow and blue, now spouting spores of black mould. The village and its residents were rotting away. A group of villagers approached the beast after the last of their livelihood had perished, slogging through the swamp of waist-high mud to make a plea to the beast. "We are sorry if we've offended you, mighty creature. We offer ourselves to you in hopes that our sacrifice will satisfy your hunger." In unison, the villagers submerged themselves into the tarry mud, suffocating in the muck. The beast slept. As the rains from the north continued into their third year, the few remaining people in the Trough began to prophesy about the beast. It had come and brought with it great devastation, they could agree. It had brought the rains from the north, and it had brought a rot to the village that would not relent. Squatting in what little remained of their crumbling homes, they dreamt of the day that the beast would be satisfied by their penance, when it would wake and leave the valley and allow them to rebuild from the rubble. "The time will come," they said, "when the beast will wake from its slumber and spread its wings, reaching from one end of the valley to the other, and with a beat of those mighty wings it will ascend aloft a squall. And the wind will lift away our rot." The villagers waited for this day to come. A generation came and went, born into the rain and long rotten in the mouldy dirt. The few survivors had long abandoned hope that the beast would return to its mountain perch. It was perpetual, a manifestation of their sin. The beast slept. Until it did not. The day the beast awoke, the villagers celebrated. They watched it stretch its long, horrible form into shape, hide shuddering as it shook the decades of rain from its thorny scales. They sang to the beast as it stood uncertainly and reared on its haunches, unfolding the scarred leather wings from one end of the valley to the other. The time of the beast's departure had finally arrived. The time had come for the cleansing wind. The beast beat its wings, emitting a tired and ugly groan as it lifted from the sodden earth. With a final sigh it shot high into the air, sending a great gust of wind through the valley that toppled with what dismal dwellings remained, haphazardly standing. The valley was wiped clean. The villagers were knocked from their feet by the rush of wind. As they struggled upright, they felt the sun on their skin for the first time. They rejoiced, their pale forms dancing in a pitiful display of frailty. They could return to the ways of their ancestors. They could know plenty. They planted their first crop before the grass had even greened, with a newfound acuity for the hunger pains that plagued them constantly. But the grass did not wax green, and the crops did not grow. The decades of rain from the north had left the earth poisoned. There was no going back. They would not know plenty, nor would they silence the constant muttering of their stomachs. Their rot had been lifted, in its place sterility. The sun shone, but it was upon a new land, a land turned to jagged, unforgiving slate, where perhaps bits of yellow and blue could be scavenged if one dug deeply enough to find a petrified leather belt. That's the end. You remembered all that? I don't have it with me to read. I obviously remembered it. Did you like it? It was different. Mum doesn't like any of my stories either. What were you doing at Grandpa's house today? Whoa, don't you want to talk about your story? No, you didn't like it. Yes, I did. Why didn't you say that? I'm saying it now. Okay, I can print you a copy if you want. You didn't answer my question. I still have some questions. Like what? What inspired you to write that? I wanted to write it. But what made you want to? I just wanted to write a story. Fair enough. Will you answer my question now? I answered yours. I was just visiting. But there's no one there to visit. I just wanted to see it. Oh. Why didn't you ask if I wanted to go? We can go together tomorrow. Okay, did you find anything there? Something for you, actually. What is it? A guitar pick? Why would I want a guitar pick? You could use it. I don't play guitar anymore. We can play together. I don't want to. Why not? We used to. That was before. Now I don't care about guitar. Oh. You can keep the guitar pick. I don't want it. I will. Are you crying? I'm just sad. Is it because that Jesse person kicked you out of your house? Ben, I don't... Or is it because you had to move back home since you couldn't find a job? Mum and Dad are worried about both things. They think you're sad because of them. Ben? Okay, Ben, give me the phone. This is the mom. Kelly's crying and I want to know why. I know, honey, but let me talk to her, please. Come here, Bud. Help me wind up the radio so we can listen to the weather report. Did I do something wrong? Did I do something wrong, Kelly? You're fine. Go help Dad. Okay, I'm sorry you're sad. Hey, Kelly, are you okay? No. Really, no. Ben, he doesn't understand that he can't... Ben is fine. He looks up to you so much, you know. I know. Where are you? Are you close to home? I can't tell, it got really dark. I can't believe the sirens are still going off. This might be the longest tornado warning we've ever had. They're saying 2 more have touched down in the county. Listen, when you get home, we'll all sit down and have a talk. I think we need it. I'd like that. You really can't tell where you are? 5 miles out, maybe? Okay, make sure you... What's that noise? Kelly, I'm going to have to let you go. Mom? Mom? Mom, you're breaking up. Oh, bet you... Mom? Kelly, Oh... Shit just got real. It's the beast. Well, for something relatively simple, there's quite a lot to unpack there, I think. Well, I guess so. There's an epilogue. She wished that she had called back then. Or is it she wished that she had called back then? Minnesota. I guess I'm going to call my mom. Hello? Oh, okay. Hey, Mom, it's me. Me? Who's me? It can't be Kelly. She never calls. Trying to be funny, Mom. Funny? Me? No, absolutely not. It's an honest question. Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't the most interesting story and the most creepiest story ever, but I like that.
I know, yeah, the sun story was really actually quite chilling, I thought. 3 months without a call and it's just sorry? I'm really sorry. You're getting there. It's... Oh. I don't know what I did there. It's good to hear your voice. You too, Mom. What made you finally decide to call? Do I need a reason? I don't think so, but I've come to expect a motive from you. I just wanted to talk, Mom. I believe you. It's just a surprise is all. Are you outside? It sounds like you're in a wind tunnel. Yeah, I'm waiting for my bus. You're going to miss it if you keep walking. Your brother told me that you guys were going to be getting a snowstorm. You're standing around in that? I'm regretting it. I bet you are. Why are you waiting for the bus anyway? Didn't you get your car fixed? I did, but the roads are pretty bad. And taking the bus is better? How? I'd rather do that than drive in it. If I were you, I'd rather risk it in my own heated car than waiting around for a bus. How much longer are you stuck out there? I have no idea. You didn't bother to check the schedule? Or schedule? I think Americans say schedule. Or do they say schedule and we say schedule? Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. I was in a rush. To get where? Nowhere in particular. Why would you make yourself wait out in the cold for no reason? You're right, why would I? I had to be going somewhere. Is that a detail you really need to focus on? Maybe. Can you think of a reason you'd be going somewhere that wasn't work or school? I think this was around the time that I had the flu. You were standing around in the cold with the flu. Nobody would have taken you to the doctor. No, Jessie was probably out of town. And there wasn't a single other person you could have called. No, I definitely had to take the bus. Could you just get on another bus? You could warm up, maybe get a little closer to wherever it is you're going. That's not how buses work, Mom. And how would I know that? I'm just trying to help. I didn't say that it was bad advice. That's sweet of you, trying to make me feel better. It's a start. But you have 3 months of unreturned calls to make up for. Don't forget. How many times do I have to say I'm sorry? Oh, I don't know, until I'm tired of hearing it. Great. I might let you off the hook if you can explain yourself. I don't think you'd understand the real reason. Fine, we can skip over that part for now. But I would ask what you've been up to this whole time, wouldn't I? You would. Then here you go. What's been keeping you so busy? Work? About that, Kelly. Before you get mad, let me explain. Kelly? Oh. Please do. I quit the coffee shop. What? Don't freak out. I got a new job. Okay, that's good at least. Try to lead with that next time, okay? You spare me a heart attack. Did something happen? No, I just found something better. Oh, that's good. I was expecting something much worse. Where's the new job? A museum. That sounds interesting. What kind of museum is it? It's a living museum. A living museum? I've never heard of that. Well, we dress up. Dress up how? Like in pioneer times. No. Yep. Is there a bonnet? Tell me there's a bonnet. There's a bonnet. And an apron? And an apron. Oh my God, I have to have a picture. Please, please send me a picture. Sure thing, it's a hoot. I'm going to have it framed. Fine. I look good in a bonnet. God, I needed a laugh. Why, is everything okay? I'm fine. I didn't mean anything by that. You weren't fine. No, I wouldn't have been. But is that something you want to go into right now? No, not now. I didn't think so. Let's keep going. Sure. Any chance you've been home to ask if you can get some time off to come home for the holidays? Any chance you've been able to ask if you can get some time to come home for the holidays? I haven't asked yet. You were planning on coming home, weren't you? I didn't come home, remember? I remember. I just thought you might want a second chance at this one. I can't just pretend. Then don't blame me for what I'd say next. What do you mean you're not going to make it? That's 2 years in a row, Kelly. I'm sorry. I'm just I'm worried about that drive, and I can't believe you, Kelly. You're going to have to tell your dad yourself, and Ben. Okay, let's skip this part. I hope you change your mind. Maybe you can come in after the holidays before school starts back up. I'll see what I can do. If you need help with a plane ticket, let me know. When is the semester done for you? Just a couple more weeks? That's sooner than I thought. And your class is going all right? They're going pretty well. That's great. I knew that getting that tutor would help. School was definitely not going well. No, but isn't that the conversation that you wanted? But it isn't true. And? I don't know. I wish I could have told you then. Then tell me. I'm not doing well this semester, Mom. What? My grades are terrible. Is everything okay? Yeah, I'm fine. It's just the classes I'm taking are difficult. I thought you were looking forward to this semester, especially that photography class. You bought that expensive camera and everything. That was before I knew I was terrible at it. That can't be true. I've seen some of your pictures that you've taken. They're good. They have no meaning. Do you really believe that? It doesn't matter. My teacher does. He said that to you? She did. Oh, she. Sorry, I assumed... Never mind. So what does she want you to do? She wants me to be more experimental. Like Picasso or something. It's actually... Okay, sure. Yeah, like Picasso. Keeping it simple for me, huh? I won't argue. How do you plan to go about being more experimental? I have no idea. Couldn't you just fake it? I mean, explain why what you're doing is experimental without it being completely true. I don't want to do that. Why not? I know I can do what she wants. That's fine, but don't forget the grade. You would be all about the grade, wouldn't you? A grade is a grade, a job's a job. My wisdom isn't exactly the most creative. Wisdom? You're damn right it's wisdom. I'd like to know what you thought you could do to pull that grade up, though. I had to do well on my final project. You will. I have a feeling. My professor wasn't too happy with the project. I thought it turned out pretty well. It was terrible. No idea what I was doing. That's not entirely your fault. I could have done better. At least you tried. I wish you would have kept with it. I really did like your pictures. I sold the camera. You can always get another one. Maybe. What about the rest of your classes? Is there anything that you can do to help this grades out? What's with all the questions, Mom? I'm just trying to understand what's going on. I don't think I can save them. We can't go through this again, Kelly. You said you would get your grades up so you could graduate. Is something else going on? Are you doing okay? No, I'm really not. Talk to me, Kelly. I want to be here for you. I want to help. Everything is falling apart. Oh, Kelly, everything is not falling apart. That's what it feels like. Then let's talk it through. Me and Jessie are having problems. What kind of problems? She's been distant. Distant how? Like you never see her? I see her plenty. Then how is she distant? She's never home. And from the sound of things, you're constantly busy. Maybe she's got a lot going on too. That's the thing. I don't know. You don't ask? I don't want to come off as nosy. Wanting to know where your girlfriend is isn't being nosy. Who knows what she's getting up to? I'm afraid of what I'll find out. You think she's keeping something from you? No, I'm afraid that she's having a hard time too. You don't think she's happy? I don't think either of us are. That's the real issue then, isn't it? Or it could be better. Either way, I think you two definitely need to talk. So that's what she's been getting. I didn't say it wasn't, Kelly. I just don't want you to feel like you can't talk about anything else that's bothering you. There's Hannah. How's she doing? She got married. Oh, good for her. I guess so. She seemed happy. Seemed? She still is, for all I know. You're not keeping in touch? Not for lack of trying. But it hasn't happened, and it's on her. Maybe I haven't tried hard enough. You can't blame yourself if she's avoiding you. I know, but it's hard not to. I think you should give her a call sometime. Now that I know you still know how to use a phone, who knows? Maybe she'll come back around. She's bound to start missing some of her friends. I hope so. I do too. So is the Hannah situation the only thing getting you down? No, there's more. Oh my God. Keep talking then. There's Kyle and Peter. What about them? I hardly hear from them anymore. Maybe you're the problem, you know? Maybe you're just a boring person, walking and driving and... Well, that's not her mother, that's me speaking, Budapesti. I hardly hear from them anymore. Why's that? They moved to Florida, poor bastards. And you don't keep in touch? We did for a while. What changed? Time. I know what you mean. It's kind of like what happened with Gracie. You remember her, right? Yeah, what about her? I knew you would. She moved to Chicago a couple of years ago. I did not know that. It's just one of the things that's never come up. Anyway, we promised to keep in touch, and for a while we did. But it's hard to maintain something like that, you know? People have their own lives. They just drift apart. It still sucks. You're right, it does. And between Hannah, Jesse, and the boys, I can understand why you'd feel... Is abandon the right word? It works. I'm sorry, Kelly. I wish you didn't feel that way. I don't even know how it is I got this far. What do you mean? I didn't even notice it happening. It was like I just woke up one day and everything was different. Why didn't you try to stop it? There was nothing to be done. It felt inevitable. And I felt stuck telling the same story over and over. Everyone else moved on with their lives, but not me. And the whole time you never once thought to call home. It wasn't that simple. Is that really the conversation that you wish you had had with me? You took over the conversation. What am I supposed to do? How could I have done that? Question after question after question. Do we have to go through this every time? I don't know what you mean. You're the one who asked for all of this, and you're trying to act like I'm in the wrong? Well... Oh please, you're just ashamed to say that you wanted this to happen. You wanted your problems to feel important. What? You knew that I was having a hard time, you knew that all of us were, and instead of acting like you really cared about all of the things we were going through, you decided to bitch and moan about all of your stupid problems instead. Stop, please. Your dad died. Your dad nearly died. Weeks went by when I didn't have anyone to talk to. Ben tried to help, but he just doesn't understand how. I'm sorry. Did it ever occur to you that maybe I needed someone to talk to? Mom, please, I didn't raise you to be so selfish or ungrateful, and the whole time you were throwing your future away because you're sad? What the hell's wrong with you? Your dad and I worked to give you every opportunity we didn't have. I never had the chance to go to college, but you turn around and end up back where we were, interviewing for your dad's old job, because what? You just couldn't handle it? Can we just go back to how we were talking before? Why? This is what you were really thinking, deep down, buried beneath all of the other garbage you're holding on to. Please. Just tell me why you didn't call. Admit it. You were selfish, self-absorbed. You didn't care. That's not true. Then why didn't you call? Why would I? So I could list the ways I was a disappointment? Or to hear of all the ways that your lives are falling apart? And how there was nothing I could do to help? Or to remind myself that I was completely on my own? I was terrified. You and Dad were always there for me. Then everything changed. I wanted to prove that I could make it on my own, that you didn't need to worry about me. But I failed. I failed, and I was terrified to ask for help. Because for the first time in my life, I didn't feel like you had any help to give. Just say something, please. You done? I'm done. Why are you torturing yourself? Because I could have done better. We all could have. What makes you think that you should carry all of the blame? I could have just called. You think a single phone call would have made everything different? It would have helped. Sure, but you didn't, and there's no changing it now, and we managed. We kept going. So stop playing the martyr and finish our conversation. Okay. This is the one part you always get exactly right, you know. There's actually a typo there. You'll always get. What part? You can always talk to me, Kelly. I hate that you feel like you're out there by yourself. There's a lot going here. I know, but I have always had time for you. I don't want to burden you. It's not a burden. I'm sorry I haven't called. It's okay. I'm not mad. Mom? Oh. My bus is here. You should get on this one. You've been standing out in the cold long enough. But I haven't even asked about Dad. He's doing fine. He's healing. Starting to get around on his crutches. It's been a slow process, but he's getting there. Or how Ben's doing in school. Ben? He's definitely having problems, but that isn't anything new. It's nothing that your dad and I can't handle. We'll figure it out. Is there anything I can do? Stop it, Kelly. Get on the damn bus. Yeah, okay. I love you, Kelly. Love you too. Kelly, until next time. Goodbye. And then the bus blows up. There's a bomb on the bus! I think I preferred it without the epilogue. The epilogue was just two women whining at each other, really. And I earned a trophy. Until next time. Okay, so that was 3/4 Soma. I do believe there's some other stuff on here as well, but I'm not going to do it now. Interesting. It's, I think I'm going to be thinking about that for a little while. Especially that creepy story by the disturbed child about the beast and the villagers. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.